Hey, welcome to the e-commerce in Malaysia podcast. Saya Amirul Mokhtar, co-founder and chief marketer of Deliva. So, episod kali ni saya dan guest saya kita orang akan discuss digital marketing strategies 2020. So, apa yang what platform to look out for, apa yang boleh buat, apa yang tak boleh buat, apa yang sebelum ni jadi tapi sekarang ni tak jadi. So, kita akan discuss tu lah bersama guest kita for this episode, Muhaimin ataupun a.k.a. Mr. Hustle. Okay, so Muhaimin, how are you?
Alright, good. Alhamdulillah. How are you, bro?
Good. So maybe boleh share sikit lah. Actually we met masa ada program under KPDN app kementerian. So Muhaimin was one of the trainers kan, and so diorang invite Deliva, so that's how we met. Okay, so maybe boleh share sikit lah about yourself. How did you get to where you are now? What do you do now? Cerita je lah semua.
Okay. Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, Amirul, for the invitation. I really know that we will be able to like buat something together one day. So bila aku jumpa kau hari tu pun, it looks like, I mean, banyak benda boleh buat sekali sebenarnya, which is very interesting. So, cakap sikit pasal my background. So, basically, my background is, untuk degree, aku buat bachelor dalam New Media Design and Technology. So, how aku involved dalam digital marketing ni is that even masa aku tengah study, aku dah start buat freelance. Which is, Aku start dengan buat graphic actually. I started with graphic designing. Start buat poster untuk clients, and then from there aku merge into copywriting, which is one of my forte today lah. And then which is overall sekarang ni kalau orang tanya aku, forte aku is more to like brand and marketing. And then from there, dari situ aku start belajar untuk jual produk. So obviously aku jual produk macam produk kurus, produk kecantikan semua tu. So dengan jambang-jambang ni semua, nama pernah jadi Nadia lah, Yasmin lah semua kan. Jawab mesej orang semua. And then from there aku start untuk belajar more into marketing. That's when I started to fall in love with marketing sebenarnya. Sebab before that aku tak berapa suka sangat business in general, to be honest. Because aku belum betul-betul faham what business actually means. And I always feel bad for people lah untuk yang buat business semua ni kan. Sebab bila tak ada sale apa benda semua tu kan. But like by doing all this, and aku start untuk fall in love with business, and I decided to start buat benda ni masa aku tengah study lagi lah. So masa study aku buat freelance dengan all these kind of things, jual produk, and then macam-macam lah. And from there, like I was studying in Penang, and then klien aku mostly dekat KL. So at that time I was going to KL like every week lah, once a week. Every weekend tu kena pergi, lepas tu balik kena pergi kelas kan. It's quite a struggle, almost quit my study like 3 times. Lepas tu just for the sake of like making my parents happy, and aku sambung je lah untuk dapatkan sijil tu kan. And then from there, bila dah habis belajar, aku moved to KL, of course, because obviously the market is better there. And aku kerja with this one corporate company, where in that company I'm the digital marketer inside there. Yeah, and then dekat dalam tu aku handle a few types of projects lah. Macam we do corporate training, and then we do digital marketing, online marketing, and then diorang ada agricultural punya companies, and then educational. So it's quite interesting sebab for me it's like 4 different types of business genre kan. But for me to migrate benda tu in the business punya philosophy dalam marketing tu, it's quite interesting. It's like a lot of learning curve lah aku belajar masa tu. And then at that time juga aku banyak buat joint venture dengan orang, jual produk semua tu. And then from there, I decided to quit my job and started my own company, and then decide untuk self-employed because obviously aku pun a bit rebel untuk dengar cakap orang banyak sangat. I mean when it comes to companies kan, which is there's a good and bad in it, but like aku punya intake yang aku nak cuba sendiri. So I decided to like work on my own and Aku ada buat service and then consultation. At the same time we produce products and still doing joint ventures for today lah. That's about it lah, macam apa yang aku buat sekarang ni so far.
I see. So are you like consider a freelancer ke ataupun is it like a agency?
So yeah, there's a mixture between these two lah sebenarnya. Macam freelancer juga because I live in the concept of a digital nomad punya concept, which is why I chose to do this thing is because aku nak travel as much as I can. So aku nak travel and I want to spend time with my family. So like kita orang tak ada office and mostly kerja dekat mana-mana je. So it can be called a freelance punya.
But you have
work
your team lah, kan?
Ada team, but not staff lah. Memang I avoid hiring staff because I'm not ready for that yet. So with team we work by projects lah. Kalau kata service and if we joint venture kan. So there's like a few like tasks for each person untuk buat and then we combine. Lepas tu kalau tak ada project and then masing-masing buat business masing-masing lah. Macam tu.
Oh, okay. So how do you find that macam working remotely semua tu memang trend sekarang kan?
Satu sebab trend lah and second thing is that this is how I actually live. Ni memang dah lifestyle aku lah dari dulu kan. Always like travel back and forth in KL. So bila aku dengar term tu pun aku macam this is what I'm doing man. So why not go with that term kan. So which is something yang aku cuba untuk convert juga because aku in like content yang aku share, anything yang aku buat, it's not just about business. I want to show lifestyle. So that's why like it's more of a lifestyle of an entrepreneur. Apa yang dia buat tak semestinya pasal business. So it can be about healthy lifestyle. It can be about something yang aku passionate about. For example, I posted a few music covers dengan friends semua kan. So that's something yang aku nak tunjuk lah. It's like I don't want it to be too business punya type macam tu. Not just relax but at the same time you're making money lah.
Okay, that's good to know lah, something different kan sekarang. So okay, let's start our discussion by
Alright.
Okay, with 2019 lah. So anything any memorable trends that you remember in 2019 ataupun apalah something that it really work and then sekarang tak work ke apa. So overall 2019 macam mana? How was it in terms of digital marketing?
Well, I mean not just in 2019 lah. If you look back since 2000, for example lah, let's say cakap pasal 2012, kita boleh nampak for example social media platforms, how we use it and then macam mana outcome yang kita dapat and then how it's decreasing daripada senang gila buat ads 5 sen je dapat engagement semua kan. Murah semua. Aku pernah jual Corel, pinggan tu kan, pinggan Corel tu. And pinggan tu it cost like 400 ringgit per product lah. But iklan masa tu dalam 7 sen dapat satu engagement, which was really good lah. And then obviously now kita nampak dia punya decline tu macam mana kan, which is even untuk ads sekarang ni in 2019 ni obviously objektif untuk iklan itself tu pun kita dah kena tukar macam-macam. It's not as, I'm not trying to scare people by this, but I'm encouraging orang untuk lebih banyak eksperimen dari segi objektif iklan semua ni. Sebab apa? It won't be as cheap as before and then with the right technique it can still be cheap but works lah kan. So macam kalau kata trend yang dah ni, so before this I see a lot of like direct punya selling dah approach. Ini yang mostly yang aku nampak lah before 2018, 2019, which people will go straight away untuk beli barang. And then now this thing are changing. Orang makin banyak pakai social media and makin banyak buat purchase dari social media, but at the same time dia dah jadi makin pandai lah untuk tengok produk macam mana, untuk tengok brand tu macam mana, untuk tengok company tu macam mana before dia orang buat decision untuk beli. So this is something yang aku nampak tengah berlaku lah, which is gonna be really interesting with 2020. Sebab like direct selling ni, okay, for example, it's not just that we make an ad untuk jual produk terus. So funnel, that's one thing, like should be correct lah, macam mana nak drive sana tu, blah blah blah. So sebab which is if it's kalau macam kita terus jual tu, it's susah sikit lah untuk dapat conversion kalau kata nak compare dulu dengan sekarang. That's the most orang kata
I
things yang aku
remember
perasan lah.
I remember in 2000, I think around 2015 tu lah, masa tu uh, I got in depth into Facebook ads and then time tu it was like about targeting. It's like all these audiences macam wow best gila kan, dapat target very specific audience, tapi masa tu tak fikir funnel ke apa. So it's like okay, just direct sales and then hit the right targeting, semua tu macam seronok gila dapat sales. Macam beza gila dari sekarang, it's like kena ada funnel kan.
Ya tu. Which is interesting kalau fikir balik tau. Macam like for example, kalau kata kita sebelum ni kan. This is why I always tell people like don't worry too much pasal technical. Because at the end of the day, kita still jual dekat manusia. So, I mean with the right way, the right stories, the right offer, semua benda ni, it will attract people no matter kalau kata kita punya technical knowledge tu tak terlalu banyak sangat lah. Which is for example, macam aku juga pun dulu buat Facebook macam yang kau cakap tadi tu lah, macam we looking for interest and everything. Kita risau kan, macam mana nak dapat interest yang betul ni, aduh pening kan. Like from time to time, bila dah terlalu lama spend masa godek-godek pasal benda tu, experiment, yes it helps a lot, which is like precise punya ni lagi bagus, targeted kan. But like bila aku start untuk involve diri dalam content marketing semua ni, and then I started to realize that there is more than that. It's not just macam kita kena betul-betul tahu precisely siapa nak interest, nak letak sebagai interest semua tu kan. So that's a very interesting thought lah to think about.
Anything you remember from ni lah, from this year yang something macam popular gila semua orang start buat?
I think kalau kata yang ingat semua orang start buat, I think one thing which is smart yang aku perasan ialah banyak yang involvekan diri dengan video. Orang banyak buat iklan dengan video semua tu, which is that's a good thing, like. And then sebab apa ni, macam aku cakap, buyer dah jadi makin pandai, makin picky semua benda ni kan. So like for example, satu pasal video iklan banyak orang buat, and then gimmick punya video pun banyak kan semua. And then for example, satu lagi yang gila bagi aku, one of the thing that really caught my eye is Oxwhite punya promotion lah. Perasan tak yang Oxwhite tu?
Oxwhite memang everywhere ada.
Yeah, that was really really smart move. That's like another level of thinking lah. Diorang riskkan diorang punya first launching tu dengan that method, but that's the marketing cost, and look at them today, they're doing very well.
Actually I saw like few interviews of him like doing marketing, apa yang dia cakap macam it's simple je sebenarnya apa yang dia orang buat. Saya yang Oxford tu buat, dia bila dia cerita tu it's just like few steps. It's not just the marketing, it's the right product, the right target market at the right time. Semua tu. So maybe tu boleh jadi ni, invite dia.
Who knows?
Apa yang dia can learn more kan.
Yes, exactly.
So something, what about something yang macam now confirm doesn't work? Ada?
Okay, I think mungkin ada. Satu is macam aku cakap tadi, direct selling.
Direct selling.
Don't get me wrong tau, sebab apa? Direct selling tu bukan maksudnya macam MLM semua tu. But maksud aku ni kita terus kepada menjual. So don't get me wrong, sebab okay, kalau kita perasan sekarang ni, even dalam Facebook ads pun, Instagram semua ni, diorang dah limitkan words yang kita boleh letak dalam copywriting tu tau, which is kita we can put it long, but diorang akan tunjuk like 3 lines, 3 baris kalau aku tak if I'm not mistaken lah, like the new few lines. So that is something yang which is very very interesting, because it really want to test us macam mana kita punya copywriting skills, and then what kind of offer yang kita boleh pakai untuk grab attention lah. So if kalau kata terus macam cakap pasal produk je without the right method tu, I don't know, I don't think it will work anymore. Susah lah untuk jadi. Kita kena, sebab mostly sekarang ni obviously macam dekat Malaysia ada ramai SMEs kan. So they don't really understand this and dia orang akan terus post untuk jual. Cakap siapa nak beli ke apa ubat ni untuk ni ke apa ke kan, macam tu. So bila orang baca tu dia orang dah terlalu lali dengan apa yang dah ada dekat dalam dia orang punya feed kan, semua tu kan. So yeah, I mean itu yang paling ketara lah kalau kata nak nampak.
Macam for me is the platform lah. Let's say platform tu is social. So how people use pun social, bukannya dia nak apa, it's different than like marketplaces ke apa, dia memang nak beli kan. And then so they're not in the mood to buy ke apa, so just lalu je lah.
Yalah. So platform ni pun penting lah. I remember I think 2017 aku memang into gila Snapchat tau. And I thought like I was like, wow, this thing is very amazing. Yelah, dia apa 15 second 10 second ke 15 second punya video kan. And then you can literally give offers and then it will be gone kalau kata orang tak grab. Automatically kan, cara function ni kan masa tu. And I was like, wow, this is going to be very good for marketing lah. Means that kita boleh keep on putting content and then buat promo. Siapa yang terlepas tak dapat, for example, macam tu kan. But I was so like, macam mana nak kata, I was studying a lot lah, banyak buat research pasal Snapchat semua blah blah blah. But obviously Instagram took over. Dia orang introduce things like stories semua kan. So this thing memang apa orang kata matikan Snapchat juga bless you. So itulah macam platform ni, that's the thing nanti, which I think we're gonna talk about that, right? What's the next platform untuk pakai semua tu. So dia boleh nampak macam obsolete, ada yang tak obsolete juga, but we'll see how it goes.
So tadi ada touch on sikit lah. So you said something about direct selling and it's different now due to consumer buying behaviour dah lain, dah ada the whole buying journey kan, semua everything on the phone dah kan sekarang.
On the phone, exactly.
So what about marketing in general lah, not necessarily like in Facebook ads ke apa, where is it heading, do you think?
I think for where is it heading and what do I believe, it can be under the same thing, which is I really believe in this thing called content marketing. Okay, which actually it's not about hari ni buat iklan esok dapat sale. It's not about just iklan. It's about how you build up. Because now bila cakap pasal social media ni, we have to admit, even though kita tak suka nak admit, but ramai orang pakai social media. Almost everybody yang around us ada social media. Even my mom, she's like almost 70 years old. She's using Facebook, right? So benda tu benda tu macam kena something yang kita kena adapt lah. So now cakap pasal marketing side punya ni like heading to, where is it heading to ni, I think it's more into like it's gonna be really good kalau people think about building a brand instead of just thinking about just nak dapatkan sale hari-hari. That's something that really we should really look at lah, because like technology is changing and there are so many platforms out there. And at the end of the day, kita kena make sure kita punya content, kita punya post tu reach out to as many people as we can kan. So like stories for example, macam sekarang ni, stories tu macam storytelling will be, for me personally, it's gonna be a very good way untuk attract orang when it comes to marketing punya perspective lah. Once you tell the story and you tell the story well, people will know you, people will trust you, and people will be more comfortable to buy from you more.
For me, what I see marketing is heading to what I believe is like macam sekarang marketing is not just about the marketing activities yang kita buat kan, like I'm doing marketing. So I see that marketing is like bigger now. They involve macam customer service, customer experience, benda tu, sebab marketing is getting harder sebab semua orang kan start buat all this digital Facebook ads semua. So I believe that marketing it will be more on the buyer power, maksudnya buyers tu yang ada power, and they will be the one yang involved in the marketing. So like word of mouth is coming back, macam tu kan, word of mouth, like,
exactly. Macam sekarang ni ada apa, chatbot
Chatbot.
That's under kira macam conversational punya marketing lah. It's just
Conversational.
interesting lah.
Yeah, so everything is like, okay, you have to remember you are dealing with human, like you said tadi.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just like, okay, everything automation.
Yeah, true. I mean like, okay, cakap pasal automation, which is, that's another topic pula lah kan. Macam, I mean, we're heading to the more advanced year, more like competitive punya year semua ni. To learn about automation ni is actually, untuk aku personally, it's quite important juga. Like untuk faham pasal function chatbox ni, and then like macam mana nak automate kan posting semua tu. These are all the basic things yang sepatutnya kira, kalau kata if you want to drive your business into digital marketing ni, that's something that you should know and implement lah, because then we can worry about like marketing. Faham tak? These are the tools yang kita pakai untuk memudahkan kerja kita as a business person lah, because we can get so many crowd from there, and then we can like blast that to them again, boleh broadcast semua kan. So it's interesting lah.
Okay, so let's get to our next question. So
Alright.
tadi kita ada touch up sikit on platform. So coming in 2020, what are the platforms, social media platforms that you think memang kena masuk dalam platform ni, kena ada, you have to have your presence, ada tak?
Okay, that's a very good question sebenarnya, sebab ini memang sentiasa ada dalam orang punya fikiran, dia kena fikir, because like I said earlier, at the end of the day kita nak kena bagi produk kita or service kita be seen to as many people as we can online kan. This is the beauty of online marketing, digital marketing. Sebab apa? Macam kalau kita buka kedai offline, the amount of people that will see is not going to be sebanyak macam kita dekat online kan. So like Facebook, dia ada dia punya crowd, Instagram ada dia punya crowd, and then this crowd maybe using the same platform, which obviously we all do kan. Kita pakai Facebook, kita pakai Instagram. And yeah, I mean like ada orang cakap pasal Facebook is still obsolete. I mean it's getting obsolete, macam dah kurang sikit semua kan. I mean I don't know, bagi aku that one it's not gonna be dying soon lah, to be honest with you. Even though aku selalu advise orang untuk make sure they have their own websites untuk jual semua, which is very important sebab kita tak tahu bila diorang ni akan tutup kan. Facebook can literally close esok and then kita dah pisang. Bayangkan kalau the only marketing platforms yang kita pakai is Facebook and then tiba-tiba tutup, kan macam mana? Kan? So like obviously dekat Malaysia ni kita ada banyak Facebook, banyak user yang dalam Facebook, Instagram semua tu. But like if you ask me personally, what I see lah yang aku nampak sekarang ni, people are involving in TikTok, which is funny to think about it, because at first kita nyampah juga tengok video TikTok ni, perempuan menari lah semua kan. Like what's the point kan? But like because it's a new tool tau. It's not like tak adalah macam last year buat kan. It's like it's been a few years, but it's going like crazy. It's growing so well.
Yeah, talking about TikTok kan. So like you say, ni untuk budak-budak kan. But you have to remember, like okay, they are budak-budak now. Tapi in a few years they will be the consumers kan.
Exactly, they're
so
growing up.
Takkanlah tiba-tiba macam diorang dah besar dah tak guna dah platform ni. No, it grows with them. Sama macam kita with Facebook, with Instagram. Right? We grow with the platform. So it's something to think about kan.
True. Because like honestly, to be honest with you, kalau kata pasal, let's talk about Facebook lah, macam mana dia punya growth. The first time masa aku pakai Facebook, my intention is just to get girlfriends, man. Like, not like 100% lah, but like I mean macam aku realise benda tu kan baru. Masa tu 2008 aku rasa. At that time like baru dekat Malaysia, and then I was like, man, everybody is on Facebook. At first aku macam benci apa benda tu korang ni semua kan. Then I was like, oh banyak apa awak ni kat sini semua kan. And then I was like, oh I have to get to it lah. And then tengok-tengok sekarang ni I'm like making money from that lah. So that's evolving macam yang kita cakap tadi tu lah, which is very very interesting sebenarnya.
Yeah, it's
like TikTok.
How many years lah kan? The platform kan. So looking at even Facebook as a company pun, of course lah takkanlah tiba-tiba esok orang tutup ke apa kan. But who knows.
Who knows? Exactly. Yeah. Like macam TikTok ni, which is bagi aku macam aku cakap tadi, dia is still new to Malaysian, and then like the way of consume apps tu sekarang ni, obviously it's more to dancing, singing. But what I can see is that there can be business in there with that crowd. It's also good for personal branding, and it's very very good for reach. Dan sekarang ni kita pun tahu Facebook dengan Instagram reach memang dah kedekut lah. Kan?
Right.
Dia memang nak suruh kita spend, nak suruh engage kau-kau, baru nak bagi reach banyak. So with platforms like TikTok or even LinkedIn sekarang ni kan, orang tengah bising juga pasal LinkedIn kan. These two platforms sekarang ni, memanglah LinkedIn dah lama, but now I think they kind of like remodernize the way to use the platforms, and they're like encouraging orang untuk lebih banyak masuk. So bila cakap pasal benda ni, diorang jadi macam tak kedekut untuk reachkan kita punya post tu kepada lebih banyak orang tau. So like you said earlier, with the right market and then with that amount of reach yang banyak dengan new platform yang macam ni, and then it can be like a very very good thing to test out lah.
Yeah, what would you advise somebody yang jual online lah sekarang? So coming to 2020, the social media strategy, apa yang patut dia orang buat?
Oh yeah, that's a very very good question. For me, macam what should they do is they should really really focus on branding. I mean, if you want to talk about like a long term punya business kan, macam itulah. Because macam aku ni, kalau orang tanya aku, selalu aku akan jawab as in a long term punya business. Like we can get sales esok semua by spending ads, but now we're not talking about dapat sales je. Kita talking about legacy. We're talking about building a big company. We're talking about being successful in that and stuff like that. So like social media, nak ke tak nak, kita kena pakai and then use it wisely with a very very right way lah, dengan cara yang betul untuk pakai ni. So like untuk personal brand is actually very important. Even orang yang tak ada company, orang yang tak ada office, orang yang business kecil-kecil ke apa ke, you can also make money by doing personal brand dalam online punya platform tau, which is very interesting to think about that. Sebab dia macam dah tutup discrimination dari segi kau kena ada company besar baru boleh dapat projek, boleh buat job semua tu kan. That's very interesting for me sebab it equalize human in general lah. Semua orang boleh earn something from that. So like social media platform is very important for me. Pakai as much platforms as you can, try it out, and then dari segi situ baru filter. Bukan macam cakap macam nak try nanti and then tak try ataupun aku rasa kan. But just use all of the platforms and then get the analytics, get the records, dapatkan data. So tu yang penting sebenarnya kan, sebab we need to try out and see macam mana semua. Sebab ada juga kalau kata kita tengok dekat US macam mana dia orang pakai, and then kita nak try dekat Malaysia, tak semestinya it will work, but try, you know.
So if you're selling something ke, no matter how small or how big ke apa, you should be on every platform first, try semua tu, and then see which one works kan. And then from there, then start focusing on whatever work lah.
Yang mana yang works lah, exactly. So benda tu penting sebenarnya, orang tak faham sebab apa. Macam yang aku cakap tadi, we need to reach out to as many people as we can. So from there, bila kita dah buat benda tu, dan kita akan nampak who's the target audience yang betul-betul. For example, sometimes for one of my clients before yang aku buat ads untuk kindergarten, untuk tadika kan, macam nak dapat nak dapat pendaftaran untuk orang daftar dekat tadika dia orang semua. I was using, for example, only Facebook, tak pakai Instagram masa tu. But it turns out dekat Instagram pun ada satu. So yang kedua, dari segi macam umur, aku just generally letak je umur, and then from there I got the data, and then the type of content dari segi copywriting, excuse me, perkataan apa yang diorang suka, apa yang buatkan diorang suka semua. That's why when we use different types of social media platforms, kita twistkan all of these things for each platform, and then from there kita baca the data lah untuk buat decision.
Okay. So what about Facebook ads? Tadi ada lah kita cakap sikit kan, pasal Facebook ads, Instagram ads. Are there any strategies that you see yang memang will work ke ataupun akan ke arah sana ke?
Okay, there's a few things. Pertama sekali is storytelling. Stories always sell. This is crazy and it's going more crazier after this. Okay, maksudnya be more human lah. Jangan terlalu nampak macam formal punya apa ni advertisement kalau kata pasal ads semua Instagram on Facebook tu. Dari segi gambar pun like people I mean even for my ads sekarang ni untuk klien aku punya ads pun, gambar yang kita orang pakai it's different than before. Like for example we focus more on imperfect punya gambar yang tak perfect, which is lagi convert daripada gambar yang kita proper photoshoot semua. Sebab orang macam aku cakap tadi, orang dah makin pandai tau. When they look at this, they will see it as a business dan dia orang akan rasa macam kekok sikit untuk nak beli semua. Dia orang akan jadi nervous, dia orang akan jadi macam too formal, dia orang rasa macam segan nak tanya. Faham tak? That's interesting lah, one thing. And second thing is dari segi offer is doing really really well now. Always come up with a good offer lah, even though offer tu it doesn't mean cakap pasal discount. Aku tak berapa berkenan sangat dengan discount sebenarnya, but I prefer if you give something other than just money, you know. For example, kalau kata kalau jual kalau jual cap lah, for example, if you're selling cap kan, macam polo cap ke apa kan, and then bagi free gift like a man punya Ray-Ban, something yang orang tengok macam, wow, aku nak dapat juga offer ni kan. Kalau kata when we do that offer, kita buat lah something interesting from copywriting. Kita buat lah ada limitation, siapa yang beli sampai pukul 10 malam ke sampai hari Isnin ke baru akan dapat spec ni semua, for example. That's actually something interesting juga to try out, and we've been trying that. Macam korang, what do you think about that?
Basically I think like you said earlier tadi tu lah, yang pasal technical kan, don't worry so much on the technical. So what I see is like, okay, you have this tool that you are able to reach people kan. So yang penting you have to think about that as it's just a tool to reach out to people. You can get reach. It's not something that it's like, okay, this if you use Facebook ads you will get sales. So you have to change the mindset lah, the
mentality.
That okay, you are able to reach people, so what do you want them to see? Itu je sebenarnya. So it can be like, okay, I just want to get impressions, get people to see my ads, see my brand ke apa, see my videos. Okay, then just do it. Benda tu kan. So it's not really like, okay, how can I maximize sales more tu. That's my opinion lah. Like I'm doing marketing kan myself kan.
Yalah.
I see this platform macam, okay, I'm able to reach so many people. Macam dulu kan orang buat billboard. It's the same thing. It's like, okay, they are able to reach people instead of just one-on-one, and we can reach to so many people. So okay, just what do you want to say to them? So you don't have to think so much dan nak buat technical, which objective to choose. So depending on your resources lah, I believe. It's like, okay, if you have people yang expert in this in your team kan, you hire somebody, data scientist ke apa, okay, go ahead, you can do it, that's fine. But if you don't have that resources, then don't worry about it too much. You just focus on building a good brand. So that's what I see.
Yeah, it's very good. Sebab apa ni, macam cakap pasal technical kan, like people are too worried about technical and stuff like that. But for me, like, bagi aku sekarang ni, there's tutorial everywhere, and even kalau kita Google, kita cari betul-betul banyak gila. So like that's something. I mean, macam aku cakap, like, if you want to do this thing digitally, nak buat marketing secara online sebenarnya, which you should, and that's the little effort yang kena letak lah untuk bagi faham. Kalau kata kita, diorang as a boss tak nak buat, and then they should have someone who should do that lah kan. Leverage bagi dekat staff ke, ataupun diorang hire someone untuk buat ke, something like that.
Yeah, so it all depends what you can afford. what can you can afford to do, what are the resources you have. So just play around with that lah. Just don't worry so much that okay, oh, everyone is doing this, so I need to do it. Doesn't have to be like that.
Exactly. Betul. That's very very true. I totally agree with that. Like, tak semestinya orang tu buat benda tu, we need to try. I mean, kita kena buat. Try and see if it works or not. Janganlah cakap macam kena buat je kan. It goes back to macam cakap tadi lah, kena try each platform. We need to try that, and then from there. Sebab bila cakap pasal social media platform ni, dia banyak data, dia banyak analytics. So we can analyze all of that sendiri tau. Kita boleh tengok. Contoh kalau kata macam billboard pun, it's very hard untuk trace siapa yang take action, and it depends on the objective lah, obviously. Maybe untuk brand awareness atau untuk ada call to action dekat situ, whatever. But dengan social media platform ni, the analytics is which for me memang sangat-sangat valuable lah untuk kita yang kecil-kecil ni baru nak start ni kan. We got that kind of data. Orang spend, company besar spend berjuta-juta untuk dapat those kind of data, and then with these social media platforms, then they're giving us data like this. Oh, that's very very good.
Talking about the whole analytics thing, what I see is that I think we've been spoiled out by all this like analytics, everything can measure. Coming into like 2020 ni, I believe that benda tu it can be a negative thing. Macam I don't know about you lah, but by myself I think that it can be such a negative thing. Macam we've been spoiled by this whole everything can measure, everything can get, or you can measure like return on your ad spend. You spend RM20 dapat banyak, okay, dapat balik RM100, something like that. If you focus too much on that, macam it will actually like stop you from doing good business.
More things and stuff.
Yeah, you will focus on that so much. Sebab sekarang pun dah macam tadi the buyer journey is dah tak macam, let's say they see the ads on Facebook, they beli terus on Facebook. So what if they go to Google ke apa and they search? So how do you credit that sale? Is it because of Facebook ads? So when you're talking about return on ad spend, oh, my return on ad spend is 10 times what I spent kan, so I'm getting. But for me, I think that you need to have a balance. It's a guide. It's a guide for you. Tapi at the same time, you need to see lah, is it macam logic ke to have like 20 times return? So if you're having like that high of a return on your investment, maybe you're not spending enough. So it should be like around 2 or 3. It's something to think about juga lah.
Betul. Like I mean, for example, okay, kalau cakap pasal analytics kan, it's really good untuk orang yang baru nak start juga, because but like you said, which is very true, they shouldn't only focus on that. Analytics tu help untuk kita baca data, untuk kita faham kita punya kerja ni berkesan ke tak, is our method works or not, macam tu tau. That's, bagi aku, it's important lah. I personally think that's very important. Sebab from there we can measure on what to do and what not to do. Can baca data macam tu kan. But we're talking about conversions punya analytic, that is something usually they distract orang juga. Dia macam tengok contoh lah, macam cakap pasal cost per click lah, pasal apa benda semua kan, tapi tak ada sale kan. Contoh dan itu something yang merosakkan mentality juga. That's why like you said, it needs to be balanced lah. Kena faham betul-betul lah macam mana nak pakai dia sebenarnya. Jangan too much kepada situ, tapi at the end of the day, because at the end of the day macam mana tu, we're talking about sales.
I read somewhere it said data driven versus data informed. So data driven is like, okay, everything is based on data, and then you make a decision based on that data. But data informed is, okay, you know this data exists, the trend apa semua tu ada, and then you make a decision based on other factors juga lah. So it's not just
exactly. Yes, which I totally agree with data informed punya explanation lah kan.
Okay, so I think let's wrap it up with last question lah. So aside from like the ads, the social media, related to social media, what about influencer marketing? So recently ada cakap kan masa influencer marketing bubble is bursting. So what about in 2020? Will influencer marketing still be around ataupun will change name ke, will change tukar rupa ke?
Change name maybe. But like okay, macam kita, from what we can see right now, even for example, let's talk about Instagram macam they're removing the likes kan. So this is something that might affect the influencer punya game juga. So it can be from dua perspective lah. One is someone who wants to hire the influencer to do marketing for them, and then someone who is trying to be an influencer. So that one, it depends on your objective and your goals lah. If you want to hire influencer untuk review product ke, buat something like that, that's actually, I don't know, I still think it will work. It's still gonna work because I have a few friends who are actually doing that, and diorang tak pakai Facebook ads, Instagram ads. Diorang just pakai influencer marketing, and they still manage to get like 50 to 100k per month, which is very, very interesting. That's a very good insight, kan? And then like talking about us personally, and then also companies, like I said earlier before, macam that's something that we should still do and do it the right way. Macam the best way to say is that just try to make like your social media platform to more human lah, instead of too macam formal, too perfect. That benda tu, when it comes to influencing, this is what I've been studying lah. Macam this past few years aku study banyak yang dekat US, dekat Canada, dekat Australia kan. Macam mana dia orang, like how are they moving with this influencing punya technique ataupun whatever you want to call it lah kan. They're becoming more human instead of like showing perfect things all the time. Dia orang banyak tunjuk behind the scene punya progress. Dia orang banyak tunjuk like those kind of things. These are the things that I think will be insane in the next 2020 kalau kata companies or personal brand focus on that lah. What do you think about that?
Influencer marketing, I think macam Malaysia ni kan, dia it's like the terms tau. Macam Malaysia like to play with terms, and then the terms tu jadi confusing.
Yeah, so, confusing.
One of the terms like Insta famous lah, contoh.
It's like
there's a term for it kan, Insta famous. So I think influencer marketing will still be around and has been around, will still be around juga.
Exactly.
That's not the influencer marketing that we know. It will be a bit different because I believe that everybody is an influencer themselves.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter how many followers you have, but let's say you're in your WhatsApp group kan. In your WhatsApp group, you are the one yang sharing everything semua tu, and then people look up to you. Let's say you share, ada beli barang dekat Shopee, lepas tu semua nak, nak. So there's like 10 people in the group, in the WhatsApp group. So I believe that even if you have in that micro community, you are also an influencer. So as a business, let's say like e-commerce business ke apa, so you don't need to think about like all these people yang ada 100,000 of followers, 1 million followers or more. You can look into this micro influencer juga, that they have their own influence in their own community. One example that I think is really good is cikgu sekolah. Cikgu punya influence, that one of the like let's say like one of the popular ones lah. Jadi cikgu je, dia orang biasa, tapi their influence can be stronger than like Insta famous, so-called Insta famous. So it's something that businesses need to look into. You can
exactly.
If you're not if you can't afford to pay all these high-end influencers and even those with thousands of followers, carilah yang kecil-kecil ni kan.
As long as the crowd is healthy, it's all about showing it to the right people lah.
So that's how I see
Betul.
influencer
I
marketing
totally agree with that.
like coming soon.
Yeah, I mean that's a very good point. Ini this is one of the philosophy yang banyak aku sendiri believe for myself lah untuk aku punya progress itself. Like when you're talking about likes and you're talking about these things, like that doesn't really necessarily matter. It's like it's not the only thing. Like if dia macam mana pun at the end of the day, what is your objective of doing that?
Yeah.
Kalau kata kau dapat 10 like pun and then berapa orang je nampak pun, but if the objective capai, then that means it works lah kan. So banyak orang complain selalu pasal like sikit lah semua banyak kan. But the only question yang aku akan tanya balik is that what's the objective, and then did you capai tak objektif tu kan. From there baru kita boleh tengok apa silap dia. Don't think about, macam kau cakap lah, jangan fikir pasal likes and semua ni, because
if you really think of your objective, let's say your objective is memang betul-betul nak sales, so you have to do something yang memang will give you sales lah. So you have to make sure that okay, this activity will get you sales.
Exactly.
Okay, so to wrap up, any last thing on top of your mind yang you want to share coming 2020 ni?
Not much actually. First of all, I want to say thank you sebab invite. It's my pleasure to be here and for all of the good questions and stuff. But like untuk wrap up anything, I just want to say to whoever is reading this or watching or listening to this, and
it will be everywhere.
whoever's listening
whoever's
listening ataupun watching ke apa ke, I just want to say good luck in 2020, and then cakap pasal if there are any best things yang I want to share is that I just want to talk about drive in more into content marketing. Try to experiment and understand more into content marketing, whatever it is, if it's an e-commerce business ke, service ke, ataupun product ke, ataupun anything, just look through that, and then let's see how it goes.
Okay. So for our listeners that want to follow you ke ataupun ask you questions, how can they get in touch?
Alright, you guys can follow me on Instagram or Facebook, which is Muhaimin Mohammad, Muhaimin Mohammad. Yeah, that's it. Just from there,
we will display it in the description and then everywhere lah, mana-mana yang ada this video, or if you're listening to the audio, we will put it in the description. Alright. Okay, so thank you guys for listening. I'll see you again in the next episode.
Alright, thank you, bro.